What's going on, people? The hypocrisy knows no bounds in this country or around the world, for that matter. Um, we had an individual drive their vehicle into a Jewish community center, school, whatever, temple, synagogue. I've heard them label it a gazillion different ways because everybody's got to have their own, word. And of course, our elected hypocrites got to rush out because, they got to be seen on TV, speaking when something like this happens. But what I find hilarious is we have leaders in this world, psychopaths, perverts, garbage, war criminals, and they kill thousands. This person didn't hurt anyone other than a security guard, and not to discount what happened to that person. And I will agree to the extent that this didn't solve anything. He just, the person that did it just ended up dead, which may have been his intention in the first place. But he lost 2 brothers and 2 nieces because Israel has decided to, now that they have Donald Trump doing their bidding, they have decided that they're just going to attack the whole Middle East. And during one of their bombing campaigns, because they don't try to not kill civilians, they killed this person's family, and his reaction was what it was. And of course, leaders jump on TV cameras wherever they can get their, biscuits a flapping, that this ain't the answer. We need to tone the rhetoric down, blah, blah, blah. But yet they're not on TV flapping their biscuits or raging against the Israeli government for doing what they've done, which is genocide in Gaza, starting a war in Iran that has already killed our people and injured 100, I think it was 150 last I heard. And the estimates are they've killed or injured about 1,100 children in Iran. And they're not out there saying these same things to this pedophile piece of shit, the war criminal that runs Israel right now. I don't have a problem with Israel. I don't have a problem with the Jewish people. I have a real fucking problem with your government because they're out of control. This is retribution for the things that have been done to them. Now that they have the power, they're trying to inflict as much pain and suffering as they can. This is about grabbing territory so that the board of pedophiles can take all their billions and build a resort. It's always about money with these people. It ain't got nothing to do with anything else. Of course, the minions here, blah, 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 wave the flag, clap the hands because, look, we're killing people again. But I don't know, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of living in a world where what they do is acceptable and we just barely talk about it and then do nothing. And then you have things happen like happened at this temple, and everybody wants to jump on camera immediately and talk about how this isn't what we should be doing. No, let's just all keep standing by and just let them run us over. It'll be fine. Part of the problem is AIPAC owns all of them. And if anybody don't know what AIPAC is, That's basically the Israeli super PAC that donates millions to all of them. Doesn't matter what their letter after their name is. They're all bought and paid for by that. So they're not going to run out there and ruffle any feathers because, they need that money. And they're willing to let the rest of us die to get it. Because that's what it comes down to. The hypocrisy is disturbing, to say the least. I am tired of madmen killing, injuring, raping anybody in the name of whatever they've decided to do, like Putin, and we're supposed to go on with our day like it's just normal. We've normalized mass violence by our governments, but then we all want to get on TV and decry when one person upset about losing family to these fucking madmen does something illogical in their grief. It's disgusting. So that's my thought on it. I if you're not going to say anything, just go home and get the fuck out of the way and shut up. If you're not going to do anything that makes a difference, just shut up. We don't need to hear your sound bite that they're going to play at your next campaign rally. Don't need it. Case in point, we went to Haley Stevens' office for the second time this past week, the 9th, this past Monday, and sit down with her chief of staff and another staff member, and all of us were very disappointed in the answers. We were demanding that she stand up, file some impeachment papers. And the literal excuse why she has not done that is that it won't go anywhere. So I guess that's the answer. If we can't do anything about it, if we don't think it's going to change anything, then I guess we just don't do anything. Well, I got money for some roads, so ICE will have a nice freeway to drive on. I just never thought I'd hear someone really say that there's just nothing we can do. It's not going to go anywhere. So we just decided not to do anything. Really? And then she wanted to claim that Haley Stevens has made speeches on the floor that were advertised, that in this. No. When? I haven't seen them. And what'd she tell us? Well, it's on her website. Oh, it is. So what'd you do? Wait till the middle of the night when nobody was watching C-SPAN to get up and say something, put it on your website so that somebody might want to donate $1. We'll find it when they go look at your website. Instead of being out there to where, people might actually see it while you're actually saying it. And then I brought up her praising the staff at the Baldwin detention camp here in Michigan. And she said, well, she made a lot of statements in regards to that visit. That was just one. Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. She made that one. I don't give a shit about her other statements. This one was the problem. This is what we're here to talk about. And you want to ignore and just deflect to the other statements. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. She went to a detention center that has been known to mistreat prisoners to the point of putting them in a cell with nothing to sleep on, no socks, laying on a cold, hard cement floor, having their food thrown in the cell with them. And you praised those people, but it was just one statement of many. The excuses are astounding with these people as to why they don't do anything. Or if they do something, why they don't feel they should be held account for what they just said. I, so needless to say, we got nothing accomplished with the visit because Haley Stevens has decided she's going to ride the Democrat line, and she's going to just let this whole system pull her along and not do anything. And that's supposed to be acceptable. That she's just towing the line. No, it's not. And then we asked if she was going to do a town hall anytime soon because you can't see her. They won't even think about letting you actually sit down and talk to our representative. Again, if I had a big fat check, I'm sure she'd probably sit in my lap while I talked to her. But she's not going to do a town hall because she's afraid. She's received threats, and now she basically don't want to be out in public. I have been to events here in Michigan, multiple locations. I've been to events in DC twice. And there's always a risk of some nutbag showing up and doing something stupid. They have been in DC. The last time I went, there was a guy that didn't get arrested by the police because he was screaming and yelling that Donald Trump was his best friend, and he was angry about what people were saying. And then, we've had other events where people have showed up and tried to hurt people, drive into them, all kinds of shit. So we risk ourselves every time we go protest this lunacy. But our leader, as with most leaders, even in these wars that we have overseas, they're sitting in a safe space while everyone else goes and does the work. And their excuse is their safety is a concern. All of our safety is concerned, but we've still done it. And you're hiding like a coward. That's awesome. So you're more important than we are, is what you're telling us. And you're not willing to risk anything to do anything. Because the gentleman that's running against her, Dr. Saeed, is a Muslim. And I'm sure he's received threats running for office. And he has been to every major protest in Lansing that I've been to. He's been on stage, elevated, which is, an easy shot for someone that's good. And he still showed up and he still made his speeches without a shit ton of security around him. He came to the event we went to last Sunday and made a speech in a room full of people he don't know. Anything could have happened. But he came and did it anyway. But yet our elected leader is so afraid of being a leader that she's decided to save herself rather than any of us. Again, the hypocrisy is astounding. Other than that, have a nice day.